My name is Laura Kowal, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2011.
You gonna get a snack?
Early stage breast cancer, DCIS. I was diagnosed on my first mammogram.
So what did you have for lunch?
At the time, I was changing careers. I had started a new job at a law firm in Philadelphia.
So what did you
And I had an 8-month-old daughter named Lucy.
Doing well in church, and the other 2 grades only made.
So to say it was overwhelming was the understatement of the year. I was young, I had a baby, I was really looking at minimizing my risk, and I wanted to have another child. So those were all things that I was thinking about. And I couldn't have ever fathomed that on my first mammogram that would be a potential diagnosis. I did opt to have a bilateral mastectomy. It was, at the time, what I thought would give me the best chance of long-term survival, given my history and family history. And it's a somewhat controversial choice, but that's what was going through my head with an 8-month-old baby. So.
I know. Did you tell her it's because we had a soccer game?
So when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I relied heavily on my husband, Walter. You know, I think he gave me the care, love and care that I needed, but also at times the space that you need to kind of get through it. And my parents, Judy and Jim, who drove down quite a bit to help with all kinds of childcare, picking up my daughter, and really everything else that I needed to continue working and get through the treatment and the surgeries that I went through. You know, in hindsight, you realize I had so much. I was so lucky. In many ways to get through it. And so I wanted to give something back. At the time that I joined the board of directors of Living Beyond Breast Cancer, I had started a new job as in-house counsel with Nemours Children's Health System.
Thank you. Thanks so much for meeting with me.
And I had also had another child, my son Ryan. And so it was a new chapter in my life in many ways. I thought I could lend expertise in really 2 fronts. One was the legal expertise, but also the healthcare side of it. It was an amazing experience for me to be on the board of LBBC, attending the conferences, which really is where, in my opinion, you get to see the work of LBBC at its best. The Yoga Reach and Raise is really one of my favorite events, and we've attended it almost every year since I've been on the board, my family and my friends, because it's such a deeply powerful event that I love. Being the board chair really enhances your view of the organization in a way. I got to know the staff much more, and I became more involved in the events. I traveled. I was really excited by it. I was also terrified because I followed Barbara York, who was such an amazing and effective board chair. The more I got to learn about LBBC, the more important I understood its work to be. One of the conferences I distinctly remember was in Memphis, so really trying to look at places in the country that have very high breast cancer diagnoses and a diverse patient population. I think that any person who volunteers to help Living Beyond Breast Cancer, including on the board of directors, is helping the next woman that gets diagnosed. My daughter Lucy is 11 and my son Ryan is 8. I actually told them about my breast cancer diagnosis because of my work with Living Beyond Breast Cancer. I enjoy explaining to them what I do with that organization. I think about breast cancer, I really think about it every day because I realize I'm so lucky to be sitting here. And I'm so grateful that, you know, I can enjoy seeing my kids grow up.